South. So I think
There was something interesting to say about that.
Early, they weren't expected to have that 13-game win streak like they did last year.
This is the gift that God has given me to be able to help.
Thanks to them, Brad.
I'm not.
Am I correct?
you're correct.
Why blame? Why you're blaming?
I have a question for Carolyn. Carolyn, hold on. I have a question for you.
Yeah, no,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on another episode of the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We got Jimmy Drust alongside me. Our friends like to call him Skippy.
No, that's you. We all call you Skip at work.
Yeah, I noticed that. I got Josh
Skip
calling me.
Bayless.
Come on.
You are Skip Bayless.
I mean, you could say it, but I highly disagree.
You highly disagree because you don't want to be called it. That's why. You disagree with it.
To each its own.
No, you're definitely Skip Bayless.
To each its own. Actually, send in your thoughts. Do you guys think I'm Skip Bayless? I highly doubt it.
I think you
I
are.
see some points, but not always.
That's what Skip would say.
All right, so the Florida Panthers have won back-to-back Stanley Cups. They're the first team since the 2020-2021 Tampa Bay Lightning to go back-to-back. 4 of the last 6 Stanley Cup champions have been in the state of Florida. There's controversial because of the no tax and how but they weren't talking about that when they were losing. So they built the right way, and we gotta give them credit for that.
I mean, do we see a three-peat?
You might.
If they keep the same team, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you still have Ekblad that's going to be a free agent next year, Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand, so it just varies on if they bring them back. They got a good core, but they lost a lot of pieces last year, and they still won the Stanley Cup this year.
Well,
so
they kept the main cores, though. That's the thing. They kept the main people.
yeah, they kept the main pieces in place.
And that's probably what was a smart idea, because if you could interchange players that could be cheaper, and you could it's the same player that you had, that's fine. Like you could go, or even like rookie players, like players that are young.
Yeah, they've built the right way.
Yeah.
So the Panthers Stanley Cup champs, 2 titles in a row. Edmonton Oilers, they lost again in the finals to the same team. Connor McDavid, 2 years left on his deal. So if they don't win next year, does he leave Edmonton and chase money elsewhere?
Maybe he doesn't chase money. Maybe he just chases a team that could get him to the promised land. That's close. If they're like one player away to get to there, that I could see more.
Yeah, because I think Connor McDavid has what it takes to lead a team to a Stanley Cup. But I think the Oilers don't get there without him. He's an elite talent. His speed, his vision, his puck control, they're almost unmatched in NHL history as he makes regular highlight reel plays look effortless. 3-time MVP, scorer leader. And despite the Oilers losing to the Florida Panthers in 6 games, McDavid was still phenomenal.
Yeah.
He finished the playoffs last year with 42 points, and I think this year 33. So the last 2 years, he put up over 70-plus points.
Close to 80.
Yeah, close to 80. And he won the Conn Smythe last year, so...
Yeah, and losing, it's the first time, it was like the first time in like something years.
Yeah, I think since 2003.
Yeah, since like somebody that didn't win the Stanley Cup to win the MVP.
Yeah. So I think that's the great thing for Connor McDavid, that he's having a legacy. Now he just has to get a cup.
Yeah, if he gets 1 or 2, because you could say the same thing for Ovechkin. Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Like has Ovechkin won MVP?
Yeah, 2018.
No. Regular season MVP.
Yeah, he's won MVPs, goal scoring leaders.
Yeah, okay, so then you gotta win 1, and that's it.
Yeah, you gotta win 1.
That
That cements your legacy.
Yeah, that cements your legacy right there. If you just win just 1, because Ovechkin already submitted his after he beat who was it? Golden Knights.
Yeah, in 2018. So, but yes, Stanley Cup is over. Hockey's over tonight. We got Game 6 of Pacers Thunder. And I think the first discussion is going to be Tyrese Halliburton's health and impact. He put up 0 points last night, or 2 nights before.
2 nights before.
He's listed as a game-time decision due to his calf strain.
I know it's the finals, but I don't know, because like if something more happens to that leg or to his leg, it could probably impact the next season.
It can.
So I don't know. If he's not feeling it, I would not start him. But I don't know. It's the finals.
Yeah.
So like it's like
You gotta give it a
if
all.
you're gonna lose, you want to lose on your badge.
Yeah, you want to lose the right way.
Yeah, like like force me to go out. Like if I'm that badly hurt, like force me to go out. I'll play. Just force me to go out.
Yeah. I mean, last game he put up 4 points, so he has to be an impact tonight.
I still think that doesn't really count because it was fouls.
But still points.
Yeah, I know, but still, he wasn't a factor of that game. Like OKC controlled that whole game the entire time. Especially you let J Dubs go for 40 points.
Yeah, but I think the Thunder are exposing the Pacers for who they truly are.
What, that they just rely on 2 superstars and that's it? Well, not
Yeah.
even a superstar. Halliburton to me is not a superstar. I think
He's not top 5, but I think it's just showing that they got lucky against the Knicks in game 1.
Yeah, because they should. Like I said, if the Knicks would have won that first game, different outcome.
Because you think about it, they won that game because they hit their threes. If they did not hit any of those threes,
Like they missed
that
one of
game
them.
was over.
Yeah, they missed one of them. They weren't. Especially the last one was so lucky it bounced and rolled in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because if you're looking at this Pacers in the finals, if you're looking at this Pacers team in the final, if you stop Halliburton and you're not getting points from the bench, because that was the difference in the Knicks series, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halliburton played great, but Siakam put up points.
yeah,
McConnell,
yeah,
Nesmith, Obi Toppin,
yeah,
Mathurin.
yeah. I agree. I think
It's OKC starters versus Indy's bench at this point.
yeah, and OKC Stars are putting it away.
Yeah, so that's the big difference, the depth.
Like it's crazy because they win tonight. Like I think you put SGA as the greatest Thunder, Mr. Thunder himself.
Yeah, based on rings, yeah.
Well, not even just reigns. It's just like he brought an MVP. Like all right, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook did that. All right, cool. There he's gonna bring a title to that town that hasn't had a title since the Supersonics.
Yeah.
That's how long we're going from there to there. Like that's a long time.
But I think we all knew the Thunder were going to win.
Well, I think we're all hoping that we could see Thunder and Denver, like them too, because I think one of them would have won. I think one of them would have won.
Yeah, I was saying that too.
Yeah, because
Thunder and Denver.
Thunder and Denver. That's what I was saying. But then the Thunder just they just was a better team. They're young.
Mm-hmm.
I guess,
And it's showing why OKC has the highest turnover margin throughout this postseason.
Right.
They really thrive off of the transition offense. That's why they won a lot of games by 30, 40 points.
Mhm.
I think one game was 140 to 101. So you're seeing that big difference, and they're the best team all season.
Yeah, they were a dominant team through the entire time.
68 and 14. So I'm not surprised that they're winning this. They're probably going to win the whole thing. It's over tonight unless something magical happens for the
And
Pacers.
Halliburton shows up and be like Mr. Incredible or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I could see is he needs to play lights out and they need to play like crap.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think SGA is going to play like crap. Maybe J Dubs, but I think the other players will just be as good too.
I mean, we've seen Indiana done it before. They've pulled off many comebacks this postseason.
Yeah,
So,
but you're going against a team that is defensively the best team.
yeah, the Thunder are the best
The
team.
best defensive team right now. And
Yeah, that's the Thunder.
yeah.
No doubt about it. I called it from the beginning.
Well, I mean, but also too, they didn't have like an easy pass. Like last year, Celtics had an easy pass to the finals.
Yeah.
OKC didn't have an easy pass. Like they had to play. All right, the first series. All right, that's a layup because they're playing whoever was the crappiest team. Then it's like, all right, then you play
Thunder. I mean, then you play Denver and Minnesota.
No, they never played Denver.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
the
they played
second
Denver.
round.
You're right. Yeah, Denver.
Yeah, and I said-
Denver took them to Game 7.
Mhm. And I said whoever wins that series is going to the final.
Yeah, we both said it. I agree.
Yeah.
And that's what because I don't think Timberwolves was that good of a team to be fair, and it showed. They won
Nah.
one game and that was it.
Neither are the Pacers.
No, I mean, I would love to see the Knicks win the Thunder series, but I think this might have been the same outcome.
The Pacers aren't that good of a team. I don't know why everyone's giving them so much credit.
It's because it's Halliburton that they're trying to like. Some of the fans are trying to put Halliburton over like all the and you're on your computer. Can you look at the ratings on that
For
the finals?
as top players?
No, the finals ratings.
Oh, how many people are watching?
Yeah, and I want to see if it's like the lowest one that I called it, because I think it's going to be the lowest rated. Move your elbow, Doug. Like go like this. No, there's a bug on it. That's why. Still there.
Well, I saw a report that I think the Indiana Fever, one of their games had more viewers than Game 1.
So what's that tell you?
People don't care about the NBA anymore.
Well, it's just I think nobody cared about that series. If it was the Knicks, different story.
Yeah, big market.
Yeah, exactly. The Indy doesn't have a big market. OKC, I can see have a bigger market, but I'm sorry. I prefer. Like I would like to see the Celtics go in there because they also have a big market.
All right, so yeah, this is what we got. So Game 1, 8.9 million viewers.
8.9. Okay.
The lowest finals opener since '88 outside of COVID.
Who called it?
Game 2 dropped further, drawing 8.7.
Who called it?
Lowest Game 2 audience in 18 years. Game 3 rebounded 9.19.
Okay, and then what about Game 4?
Game 4
Dropped or went higher?
I think 11. It went to 11.
It went up.
I think that's what it says. Down roughly 23% from the 20.
But still,
18% decline.
that's a lot. What's that to tell you? Come on.
It says small market teams perceive mismatch TV trends.
Yeah, like you said, like the Denver Miami series was like that's probably lower.
I'm telling you, no one cares about the NBA.
But no one. No. It's not the NBA. No one cares about that team. Those two teams. No offense to OKC.
I know, but no one wants to watch that.
No, but
I don't.
But
at
I only
least.
nobody care about the Pacers because it's the Pacers. Who really cares?
I don't.
Like no one really does. Like no offense to the Pacers.
I like Reggie Miller, but I really don't care to watch for the Pacers.
No, like no one really cares about that. Like I think it'd be more better if you would have saw like the Knicks Denver or Knicks that, or even like the Celtics were healthy, like Celtics OKC. That would have been a better series.
Could have been, but
That would have been going back and forth.
Knicks suck.
I'm sorry. Who beat the Celtics?
I've been saying it all year long. I mean, I said it throughout all postseason.
Who beat the Celtics?
I said Thunder are most likely going to win, but don't be surprised if the Pacers win. Don't be surprised. They're going to pull off some type of magic. But the Pacers exposed the Knicks and who they truly are.
No, I think we got too far ahead of ourselves.
I know. They exposed the Knicks for who they truly are. I've been saying it throughout every round.
Don't matter. Still better than the Cavs.
Get them Giannis, and they'll be a serious contender. I don't know why people don't believe me.
Well, here's the thing.
The Knicks are lacking depth. That's why the Pacers won, because the Pacers have depth.
But here's the thing, though. Why would you go for Giannis and get rid of more of your talent?
You don't have to trade first-round picks.
No, because they're
Then
not.
move OG and Hart to the bench.
Milwaukee's not gonna want to do that. I would not move off OG. OG is a very defensive player.
But he would be better on the bench.
Well, if
you really want to win, put Hart and OG on the bench and get another superstar.
but I wouldn't. Yeah, you put him on the bench, but I also wouldn't.
That's why the Knicks struggled.
Yeah, but I would say this because like I wouldn't like get rid of that. Like I would just try to build more for depth. Honestly, I'll get like they're saying somebody. I was looking at. Hold on,
That was my whole point.
let me see if I could find the person they were like looking for, and I'll tell you. Just give me 1 second. Let's see, 'cause I know they're like looking at it. Not him.
I know they were watching the KD, but the Knicks don't even have a
No. Somebody.
Knicks don't even have a head coach.
No, they'll find head coach. I'm just trying to find who they were talking about. Like it could be like. No, it's not. Well, they picked up. Actually, I forgot. I think they picked up James Najahi.
I saw that.
They picked him up, so that's a good.
That's what's holding this Knicks team back. Everyone's like, "Oh, Dougie's a Knick hater." No, as much as I don't like the team, or as much as I can't stand the fan base, as someone that brags about New York, it would be nice to see a New York team in the final.
No, I'm just trying to think who it was.
But what's holding this Knicks organization back is they have good players that should be on the bench that is in your starting five.
Well, here's the thing. I just saw like a list of people that are up, like McKeel Beasley's up, somebody else is up, and everything for free agency. So if you could sign one of them, that changes. Like that's your bench right there. It's like, okay, you got McKeel. Beasley could be the sixth man,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Like he's a dangerous shooter. He still is for his age.
Yeah. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Serravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We got Jimmy Druss, we got Dougie S., not Skip Bayless, as people like to call me. We'll be right back. We got more to get to. We're going to have a hot take discussion right here, see what Jimmy has to say about his new quarterback. We'll be right back.
How's about Rodgers?
So Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
For this town, things that haven't been done before.
feel like
It's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people,
Overpay for DeGrom, and I think this is a great way for us to gather together.
I'll be looking for another job after this is over, I can tell you that.
here with your name behind it, hoping that
Why didn't Trump fire Fauci? He could have gotten rid of him.
There's a lot of things you can have checked out. So,
Talk whatever we want.
It's sports. Well, I'll tell you, no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
All right, we're back on the Doug Serravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need.
Yeah.
So we got Jimmy Just over here, and his new quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
First, he said Giants fans were insane for wanting him. Now Jimmy's happy that that's his quarterback.
No, I didn't say Giants. Because I think you would have ruined him more. The Jets would have.
Oh, I think so too, but
Like, because
he's still 41.
Yeah, but before I was looking at a video. Rodgers in the last 4 games when he was a little more healthier at the end of the season was like pretty decent.
Yeah, he put up good numbers.
Good numbers. So what's that tell you? He even said it too. I was hurt for most of the beginning of that season already. I was still hurt.
But he's also 41.
Yeah, but if you're just looking at Halliburton right now, he's hurt and he's putting up crappy numbers. That's what happens when you're hurt.
I know, but Halliburton's what, 20? Big difference.
Yeah, but still, no. If you play hurt, it's gonna show.
All right, so I wrote this down of why Aaron Rodgers is not in the greatest ever conversation with legends like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, or Joe Montana.
He's below that, but okay.
My first one is lack of Super Bowl success. Only one Super Bowl, and that was in 2010 against your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
Despite a decade of elite play.
Okay.
One of the best ever, but he's not in the greatest. Like, you have greatest, you have best, you have good, you have average.
So I just have one question. Where do you put Drew Brees?
Same conversation as Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, all right. I was waiting for you to say, he's like behind the other ones. It's like it's the same thing.
No, he'd fall in the same category.
Okay.
Multiple playoff disappointments.
Okay.
A lot of times he was the number 1 seed.
Okay.
And Tom Brady, 7 Super Bowls. Joe Montana, 4. And even Eli Manning, who has 2 rings, has went on good runs.
Okay.
Now, I want to look at his playoff record. Rodgers is 12-11.
Okay.
With several early exits.
Okay.
Lost to that game against the Niners, 2021.
Yeah, that was not. The Niners were unbelievable that year.
Yeah, but still, home field.
Don't matter. The Niners were just unbelievable.
And you could go how he blames or he lacks accountability in his post-game interviews. Never really holds himself accountable. The relationship he has had with his coaches, front office, and teammates, Mike McCarthy, Packers GM.
I don't think he had no problem with Mike McCarthy. I think it was after he left, and then you got who's the head coach? It's Matt LaFleur. That's his name, I believe.
Matt LaFleur.
Well, Florida or whatever it is. I don't think he's like saw that. It's like, all right, his new, and then, but also too, what Green Bay did to him was kind of fucked up though too. They got Jordan Love. Like, and what did Rodgers do that year? MVP.
Yeah.
So,
but he's still basically on the decline.
I mean,
back-to-back MVPs 2020, 2021, and his play dropped off in 2022 and missed the playoffs with an 8-9 record.
I would say this. Look at Green Bay's defense. Were they the top?
No.
Were they top 10? There you go.
But still,
it has to be a balanced team because then it's like if you're like, look at Joe Burrow that was MVP caliber season, and look at the defense. He had to play a lot of those games where it was like behind and the defense was not holding. Like, but you could say both of them are the same thing, but you put Joe Burrow in elite class.
He's had good games. He's been consistent. Besides that 1 year he was hurt.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But he didn't pull it off because they choked or the defense choked. That's what it is. Rodgers played decent in some of those games, but it was the defense that didn't come through because he never had a top 10 defense.
No, I know, but he's also not really a clutch quarterback. How many times?
Like the 1 year that he was hurt with the Jets, guess what? They were top 5 defense.
Yeah.
And if he was healthy, I guarantee that team would have went to the playoffs and made it. Yes,
I don't know.
They were a top 5 defense. You're telling me Sauce was playing unbelievable. The whole corners were unbelievable.
I don't know.
That front was unbelievable. Like, come on. Like, if Rodgers was healthy, if he stayed healthy, that they would have made a playoff run.
I disagree.
Would it beat the Chiefs? Maybe not. But they would have probably made they would have went to the next round.
But that's where I disagree on that.
Why? Because Rodgers?
Yeah, I think he's past his prime.
Listen,
41 years old, anything can happen.
Even if he's like 80% of what he was, that's still better than nothing compared to other players, other quarterbacks.
We'll see what happens. They're either going to go 5-12 or 12-5.
Well, I agree. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season because the schedule's decent. I like it. I like it a lot. There's balance to it. Not like last year's schedule. That was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, the 12-5.
Like
either 12-5 or 5-12.
I can see living at 6 more or less.
He's good, but I don't know.
We'll
I just don't consider him in that greatest ever conversation.
If the line protects him, he's healthy, and he plays decently. And I think it's going off the run game. The run game has to be good. And who's really good at that? Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is a very good. We saw it last year. They were running the ball decently, and then Wilson was lacing that ball down the field, and that's what took them over to the top. So I think Arthur Smith knows how to change the calls, change the route the route running, and change the running schemes and everything. I think it would be good for him. It might be a perfect marriage or very dysfunctional. But also you have a very good head coach into Mike Tomlin that would correct Rodgers instantly. He's not the type of those coaches that will mess around. Like, I always see this one video every time. It was with I think it was with Pouncey, I think. And he was like, there's a flag against him. It was like a bad flag after the play. He's pissed off. He's like, hey, listen, look at me. He's like, listen, you doing all that just damaged us. Don't think about yourself. Think about your other teammates, what you just did. And listen, I'll have your back 110%, but that was messed up and everything. You cannot be doing that. That's hurting us, and you're hurting me, and you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting everybody else. Stop that. Play hard and go have fun.
Was that in Hard Knocks?
No, it was like a random, like it was mic'd up. Like one of them mic'd up, he was mic'd up one of those nights, and I think it was like I believe it was a Panthers game. Because it was like a Sunday night game against the Panthers, and he was mic'd up. And this is years ago. This is when Ben was playing. And that was it. I was like, dude, who cannot love this coach that's like that? He'll hold you accountable, but then have your back at the same time.
Yeah.
So I feel like Rodgers needed that. Because Rob Sala, I'm not saying that he wasn't a bad head coach. I just think he went to the wrong organization. The Jets, I think they need a total rebuild. Like from GM down.
Yeah, I think so too.
They need a whole rebuild, but we'll see this year with Justin Fields because it's a younger guy. Offensively they could be a little bit better, but I think defensively they're going to get worse because it's just sauce there now. I mean, that's why I think with the Steelers defense this year, I think they're going to be top 5. The defense is looking really, really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I can see them being if they stay healthy.
Yeah, that's why I think they could go 12-5. But I think Rodgers could hold them back too. So
we'll see.
Either way,
if we could find balance, I would be so happy. If, like Rodgers' final year, he gets a Super Bowl with the team that he beat.
It's possible,
and then it could happen. Like I'll be kind of like, all right, you know what? This is like full circle for him. I like it.
AFC doesn't really have any big time favorites.
No, because I feel like Kansas City is going to drop. But we always underestimate Kansas City, and they always make a run somehow.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But I hope because I know I know the Chargers are getting better. I know Denver's getting better. OKC not OKC. Raiders. I don't know why I said OKC because I'm thinking of Oakland. The Raiders got a little bit better, but we'll see if they're going to be like a little contenders. I don't know. But I just think that you're saying Rodgers isn't a top player, and it's like, okay, well, let's look at the numbers. He passed far.
Yeah, but I don't think he's greatest ever.
He's not the greatest ever. That's reserved to Tom Brady. That's the greatest ever of all time. Is he like in the top 5 or top 10? I think he's in that top category. Because if you're gonna say that, it'll probably be Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana. That 5th one, I think you could probably slide Patrick Mahomes in there. Because he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time MVP.
Yeah, Mahomes is in it.
Like he's definitely he's number 5. Or is he no wait, I said 4, right? So Joe Montana, doesn't matter. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana. So that's 4. So 5th, I mean, I wouldn't mind throwing Terry in there because he's he won 4 Super Bowls, but Rodgers has won a Super Bowl and he's won multiple MVPs, and he broke records.
Yeah,
like Ben broke all of Bradshaw's records that he was.
Oh
there.
yeah.
So I would slide Rodgers in there at number 5.
I can't.
I would slide.
He's just like Drew Brees.
I would slide. Yeah, but out of those two, Rodgers is better than Drew Brees. Yes.
You can. We could do a different conversation a different day on that.
But. Yeah, but still, it's going to be Rodgers all day. I'm sorry. Rodgers, what he did for Green Bay was that sound guy that always got you into the playoffs and always consistent. He was never inconsistent. I
get that, but
he was consistently in the playoffs, but it was like the team kind of failed him. That's what they never Green Bay never had a top 10 defense.
Whatever you say, Skip.
No, but it's true. It's not. How's it Skip Bayless? I'm not going back on my word and being ridiculous. It's fact. It's fact that Rodgers never had a top 10 defense. You can even look it up many times.
I know, but at the end of the day, he didn't really come up clutch in moments where it needed to.
There were only the moments was 2010.
Yeah,
that was it. That was
one and dones.
But you can say the same thing for Drew Brees because Drew Brees never.
Yeah, that's why he's in the same category.
Yeah, but Rodgers is better than Brees.
But they're in the same category.
Yeah. I would slide him at 5, Rodgers at 5, but the greatest of all time, quarterback wise. Like you could slide him at 5. He's won 4 MVPs and they were like when they fucking got Jordan Love, it was like a slap to the face to him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want to replace?
But that's for any other quarterback.
Yeah, but you didn't need that until if Rodgers was like telling you, hey, do I have the quarterback this year? I'm done. No, he was just saying like. And they went out. They should have helped him. They didn't help him. They were just replacing him.
Oh yeah.
But how's that fair to him? He was still deep.
It's still a business.
But still, it was still deep in his contract.
It's still a business.
Yeah, a business that has built on trust.
I know, but it's still a business.
I know, but they didn't trust him. They're like, oh yeah, you want to do that? All right, I'm gonna you go have fun, be rebuilding for a little bit. Yeah, you make a couple playoff appearances, but he ain't gonna be like me. He ain't gonna win no MVP. He ain't gonna help. I think Green Bay gets 4th place this year. That's a hot take. I think Green Bay gets last place in their division. I think the Bears are better.
I think they decline, but I don't see it be last place.
I think the Bears are better.
Yeah, I can't.
I think Minnesota is better, even with JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, Green Bay could be 3rd, but I can't sit.
No,
I can't.
Green Bay's not 3rd. Green Bay's gonna be last. I will put money on it. Green Bay's gonna be last. I think the Bears are going to be a lot
Yeah,
better.
Bears are going to be better, but
And I think Minnesota's going to be a lot better, and the Lions are just ridiculous.
yeah,
They're very good, well coached. The defense got better,
Dan Campbell,
and that offense is just
Jared Goff.
Yeah, that offense is just like ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like you got Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery, and then that offense is still ridiculous. You still have Monte Brown and other players that just go role players and everything. I'm sorry. They're going to be better. Like Detroit's going to win a division, I think, but Minnesota's going to be right behind, and I think Chicago's going to be better. Green Bay's going to decline. Sam, if you're watching this, I love you a lot, but that's how I feel. It's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, Jimmy's a hater.
I'm not a Green Bay hater. I even say Green Bay, went last year, should have been better, but.
So he's not a Green Bay hater, but apparently I'm a Yankee hater, a Nick hater, a Dave hater.
No, you used to be that, but now you're a Dave Ryder.
Dave Ryder. All right, so let's talk about the Mets real quick. They're in a 5-game losing streak. They got shut out by the Braves 5-0. Chris Sale was almost untouchable though, so you can't really blame the Mets for that.
I think they're just going through you're going through a rough little bit.
Yeah, they got swept by the Rays, but it's still early in the season. They put themselves in good position to be a contender.
Yeah.
Alonso's climbing franchise ranks. He's second in all-time home runs, fifth in RBI. I think Lindor hit his 15th career hit. So he's playing well. But I just think their Achilles heel, it's the rotation.
I know. They got to find the right rotation for them.
It's the best. They got the best ERA. But Kodai Senga's hurt. Frankie Montes is hurt. Sean Maena is hurt.
Yeah, but he's coming back soon, man.
Yeah, he's coming back soon. Montes should be coming back soon.
So I think once that happens, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah. Clay Holmes has been playing well.
They Clay Holmes, Channing has been playing well. Peterson's been playing very well.
Yeah. So the only thing is their depth, and you got to see what's going to happen with Francisco Alvarez. He's been a terrible catcher the last few years.
Yeah, maybe you go for a cat. Well, I mean, maybe trade.
Well, they're going to keep him, but it's
because Tyrone is playing better than him. Honestly,
yeah. Do you send him down? I don't know.
Or do you trade him away to get another decent catcher?
You can, but I don't know if you want to give up on him. There's a whole logic to look at that.
He's been inconsistent. And
well, I think he's got one home run on the year.
Yeah, and I feel like if there's another catcher that's playing better than him, then you go get it.
Yeah, you could try. Now it's Luis Torrens. So.
Or even if you just keep Tyrone there, he be the catcher, and then you get another decent player for him.
Yeah.
Rotational piece.
They got a lot of ground ball heavy bats. Yeah. Vientos, Nimmo, Beatty.
Yeah. They're a good rotation piece. It's just finding the right rotation for them.
Yeah, a lot of people say the Mets are top heavy, which is true, but
yeah.
And their third base rotation, they really don't have a star third base. They got McNeil playing center sometimes. You got Beatty at third, Vientos at third. So that's their main concern too.
Yeah, I think once you find that third place, if you get a third baseman, I think you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can start rotating the other players.
Yeah. So if you look at their overall outlook for the Mets, elite offense with Soto, Lindor, and Alonso.
Yeah, they're playing good.
They got the record low rotation ERA when healthy. That's the key, healthy.
When healthy. Well, rather than be unhealthy right now, and once after All-Star break happens, I think that's when they should all be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because then you get a good week of rest, a week and a half probably of rest, and then it's your other players play, but they don't play as crazy. They play light, and it's just a light fun game. And then it's all right, you get a couple more days off, and you're back to playing baseball. So it's just okay, you know what, this could be all right.
And the only weaknesses from my point of view is they're injured and they're shallow rotation, not a lot of depth at the back end.
But once everybody gets healthy.
Yeah, you got Montes, you got Maena, and you got Kodai.
But still, that's crazy that we're playing decently this well with other players hurt, and it's not even our best rotation yet.
Yeah. So that's going to be a difference maker come October.
That's just
August, September, October.
Yeah, that's just a good thing. That's good coaching and good discipline on the players.
Mm-hmm. Inconsistencies with the middle and the bench. And then NL East competition, got the Braves and Phillies that are always going to be there.
Yeah.
So that's basically how I look at the Mets right now.
Well, we'll see. It's only time will tell how they're going to be in everything.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's beating the Detroit Tigers, so they're playing good baseball. But
that's the Tigers fight. But I think it's going to be I think it'll like for them, I think it's going to be when they have to play like decent team that like been in the playoffs and they really haven't. Like, yeah, they got to the second round, but then you played the Yankees that was like very good last year.
Yeah, they're in a weak division, so
Yeah, so I feel like it could be them again for the championship.
it could be. Watch out for Tampa. Tampa's playing good baseball.
Tampa's playing decent baseball.
Yeah, they're playing good.
Yeah, I think they're playing decent right now. But we'll see because time can only tell.
Yeah, time will tell. All right, it's Dougie, it's Skippy.
Yeah, we know who Skippy is.
Everyone has their own celebrity look like.
You're Skippy. I don't know what you more Skippy.
I like to be called Chuck. Charles Barkley.
So you're an idiot.
Never mind.
There you go.
So yeah, we got Dougie, we got Jimmy. Jimmy's heading to Hawaii, so we hope you have a great time. Enjoy that vacation.
One more episode, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah, because 4th of July is in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's one more episode, I believe. Like, yeah, the 26th. Yeah, the next Thursday will be my last episode for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll do a hot take next week. See what we got.
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
Yeah, NBA Finals going to be over.
Yeah,
Stanley
it should
Cup
be
is
over before. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do like a hot take, maybe
I
some
know-
off-season predictions, something like that.
Well, I know soon, like maybe in a couple months, like in August, we'll probably do our predictions for like football.
Yeah.
So I think. Well, I was talking to Dave actually. You might be happy with this. Dave said when football starts, he might want to come back, but only strictly for football.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the game plan from October.
No,
from September through February is strictly football.
Yeah.
It's a football-ridden show. That's
Like if there's any like championship, we could do like a separate show on that.
Yeah, but from that time frame,
Yeah, we're just
football strict.
Yeah, because I feel like
Dougie and Drush football podcast.
yeah, they did that. Well, and if Dave is involved too, it'd be Double D and J.
Yeah, Double G and J,
Double D.
Double D and J, or
Yeah.
Double J and Double D if Jonathan ever gets back.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Again, thank you for joining us, Doug Survival Show, which is brought to you by unsolicited role models, or role models you may not want, but you may just need. We got Jimmy Drust, Dougie S., and we just want to give a big shout out to our good friend Dave Mendoza. Dave, we'll see you guys next time.